So this is a Dongmyeong Church. I'm sitting on a bench, and there's the education building for the church. I don't know, they have a training program. There's main church, and this is a courtyard. I'm sitting on a bench. We have many people already showed up for their work for the church, and this is me. My name is Park, and I work for Korea Telecom. I have 4 more years to go before retirement, and I would like to retire to Turkey, Latvia, Estonia, Moldova, Belarus, Ukraine, Russia, and you name it. Thanks for listening. Today is Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. As with other days, I am sitting on a bench near just behind the Dongmyeong Church. This backyard court is also a part of Dongmyeong Church, the biggest church in Korea. By the way, I work for the biggest telecom carrier in Korea, Korea Telecom or KT. Its brand used to be Ole, that's the backword of hello, but it's always safe and better to stay with the biggest players in the field. So I'm very proud of my company. It pays me well. Speaking of pay, let's check out what the Chinese payroll system is. I just randomly pulled this article off the internet. It's by multiplier.com. And I think it's a service company. The reason I am reading this article is to practice English by reading an English article each day of the length of 30 minutes or so. So I'm trying to practice English by reading an English article. So here we go. Payroll in China. Comprehensive guide for employers. One of the most crucial aspects contributing to China's unmatched economic progress is its workforce. I don't know, workforce? It used to be workforce, right? Other factors which have propelled the country's global appeal are the pro-business government policies and a flourishing entrepreneurial environment. China plans to accelerate its progress in the coming years by leveraging its young workforce and large-scale manufacturing prowess. The compensation laws of employees in China are complicated to follow. The large population of workers and the various laws across its cities pose a challenge to global organizations. This detailed guide will help you navigate the complexities of payroll in China. How is payroll calculated in China? A typical payroll in China comprises gross salary and the Social Security contribution. The gross salary is calculated by adding the net salary and the income tax. The net salary is the amount an employee receives every month via their preferred payment method. The general formula is monthly gross salary plus Social Security contribution and employment cost. Gross salary, the amount of money before the deductions for individual income tax and employee contributions, is known as gross salary. The gross salary is split into 2 categories, fixed salary and variable salary. Fixed salary. This is the amount that is indicated in the job contract as a fixed amount. 2. Flexible salary. Commission, bonus, allowance, overtime payment, or any other changeable sum that is not fixed and may vary from month to month is the flexible salary. annual bonus. Companies might also provide yearly bonuses and the base income. The bonus might be paid once a year or added to the monthly wage. Allowances. Several allowances are a part of the salary structure in China. Some of these allowances are housing allowance, children's education expense allowance, meal allowance, language training allowance. Social Security. This is a mandatory contribution deducted from employees' earnings due to differences in municipal rules. Social benefit rights and rates are personalized and dependent on the employee's place of employment and resident status. Housing Fund. The Public Housing Fund, PHF, or Individual Housing Fund, is a government-mandated social contribution in China. While it is a mandatory deduction, it benefits employees because it functions as a savings account for housing purchases. The employer also contributes to this fund. The PHF demands that employees file an annual declaration only if their annual income exceeds RMB 120,000 RMB. Oh, let me read this. I was thinking of my Chinese teacher, Liu Lao Shi. She's beautiful, so I was attracted by thinking about her. Housing Fund. The Public Housing Fund, PHF, or Individual Housing Fund, is a government-mandated social contribution in China. While this is a mandatory deduction, it benefits employees because it functions as a savings account for housing purchases. The employer also contributes to this fund. The PHF demands that employees file an annual declaration only if their annual income exceeds 120,000 RMB. So that's right, 2,400만 원 in Korea, in Korean won, or about $20,000 US. Taxes. Employees' tax deductions in China vary depending on the legislation in the city or region where the company is located. It is calculated and paid to the employee every month by the business. The income payroll tax in China is based on the employee's income level. The majority of the government-mandated social benefits are not taxable. On the other hand, the PHF necessitates a more complicated calculation. Unless their annual income exceeds 120,000 RMB, employees are not required to file an annual declaration. So that's about 200만 원 per month, or $1,500 per month. So I guess the average is close to 200만 원, or $1,500 or $1,700 taxes housing fund. How to set up a payroll in China? You must create a subsidiary and open several bank accounts before setting up a payroll in China. Employees must receive all remuneration in the local currency, the Chinese yuan. You must also have a robust written employment contract incorporating social insurance, working hour limits, and working conditions. Furthermore, the employer must mention the remuneration, and all the protection measures taken in the workplace. In China, only written contracts are recognized legally. This is done to protect the interests of both the employers and the employees. I have to go to work now. It's about 10 minutes walk from here, from this biggest church in Gwangju. But from this article, I will just stop and continue to read after work hours, right? After work in the evening. But from this article, I learned the new. I mean, there's no word that I don't understand, right? I would like to go over the two words in particular because it's been a long while for me to read that, pronounce those words. It's remuneration, or necessitates, right? Necessitates remuneration, not remuneration. That's more like a numbering, right? Remuneration. Okay, have a wonderful Wednesday and bye-bye. Hello, today is Thursday, August 29th, 2024. I think 29th, right? And I'm sitting at a court in front of Dongmyeong Church. That's the biggest one in Gwangju. In Korea, churches are very strong, and there are too many in my view. I guess many Koreans are agitated, nervous, psychologically, sometimes, I don't know, they are stable, but I don't know what attracts them to the churches, but we have many churches and many people go to church every Sunday. So what is going on? I don't know, but I benefit from this nice shaded area that this church offers. So I'm just sitting on a bench trying to read an English article to practice English, to practice reading and comprehension. As with yesterday, I would like to continue to read the same article that I read yesterday. I just finished the half in the middle of the article yesterday because I was strapped for the time and my work starts at 8:30. Today I would have like 20 minutes to go, so I should be able to finish that up, finish up this article, this reading for you and me, and we'll be happy. So here we go. How to set up a payroll in China. You must create a subsidiary and open several bank accounts before setting up a payroll in China. Employees must receive all remuneration in the local currency, the Chinese yuan. You must also have a robust written employment contract incorporating social insurance, working hour limits, and working conditions. Robust. I don't know if the contract can be robust, but very vibrant, strong, flexible, right? Robust. Furthermore, the employer must mention the remuneration and all the protection measures taken in the workplace. In China, only written contracts are recognized legally. This is done to protect the interests of both the employers and the employees. A step-by-step process of payroll processing in China. If I may, I could change the sentence, the interests of both employer and employee. I would use a single nouns instead of plural here because it's more like a conceptual party, right? A step-by-step process of payroll processing in China. Listed below are the steps that are taken for processing the payroll in China. So that is missing between the steps and are. 1. Register the employees in the payroll system. The payroll system collects entries from all employers since it acts as a record for the government. Some information about the employees required for the registration include number of employees, payroll software that you will use, payroll schedule, basic information about the employees like a name, date of birth, etc. Decide the gross pay. Employees' gross wages are the earnings before taxes, and it does not include retirement contributions. Really, it does not include retirement contributions. An hour, a pay period, or a calendar year can all be used to measure gross wages. Even computing gross salary, you must add taxable fringe benefits. For example, if you reimburse your employees for cell phone or parking charges, you must include these perks in their total compensation. Calculate the deductions. Once the gross pay is decided, you must factor in all the deductions. This would include taxes or employee benefits that might be a part of the employee's salary structure, right? Deductions. Deliver the pay slips. Before you finish processing payroll in China, you should complete the payroll reconciliation to check for errors. Along with your tax records and general ledger, you should inspect your payroll register. Most payroll software systems allow employees to examine their pay slips. Employers who manually process payroll should also provide pay slips to employees as proof of income. Maintain payroll records. Once all the pay slips have been disbursed, you will have to record every transaction in the payroll records. This record has to be maintained for about 5 years. This is because the records act as proof of payment of the employee salaries. You can maintain payroll records, right? 现在大部分自动 payroll contributions. Several payroll contributions play an essential part in the payroll in China. Some of these contributions are Employee Social Security, EESS. Employee contributions in China are 8% and include pensions, health insurance, maternity insurance, work-related injury insurance, and unemployment insurance. These changes are subjective to the employee's location. I think subject, right? Instead of subjective, not objective, subjective issue. It's just subjected, applied application. Employer Social Security, ERSS. Employers in China contribute 20% to Social Security, paying for pensions, health insurance, maternity insurance, work-related accident insurance, and unemployment insurance. This varies by location, but there is usually a cap on the employer payment, with the maximum Social Security contribution never exceeding 3 times the average monthly wage. Maximum Social Security contribution never exceeding 3 times the average monthly wage. What does it mean? That much? Chinese law has mandated both employer and employee Social Security for expats since 2011. Furthermore, employers should know the 3 different income tax rates in China based on income. 1. For total income, progressive tax rates of 3% to 45% in excess are applicable. Progressive tax rates. Progressive tax rates. That's good term. Progressive tax rates of 3% to 45% in excess are applicable. Income from operations over the stated amount is subject to progressive taxation at 5% to 35%. Progressive taxation. Progressive taxation. Progressive taxation. Progressive tax rates. Interest, dividends, bonuses, income from the lease of real estate, revenue from the real estate transfer, and accidental income are taxed at a proportional rate of 2%. Proportional rate of 2%. Progressive taxation, proportional taxation, right? Proportional taxation, progressive taxation. Payroll cycle. Most employers release salaries to their employees on the last working day of every month. Furthermore, Chinese employees receive a customary 13th month or 14th month pay in the month of the lunar year or spring holiday. 13th month and 14th month. China payroll options for companies. There are several payroll options for employers in China. Some of these options are remote payroll. When a foreign corporation, that is, a non-resident company, pays a resident employee in China, this is known as remote payroll. A non-resident company's only way to pay its employees, both local and international, in China is to engage a fully outsourced service like a GFO, like a Multiplier or FASCO, foreign enterprise service company, which will hire and pay the employees on their behalf. 2. Local payroll administration. So that's interesting concept, right? Not in Korea. In Korea, there's no remote payment. You just pay from America, and the employees pay the same taxation rates as with other Koreans. Local payroll administration. In some circumstances, a business will register in China using one of the accessible forms, RO, WFOE, or JV, but opt to have another company handle its payroll. This can be done with the help of a payroll service. It's crucial to remember that as the employer of record, the corporation is still entirely responsible for ensuring that all employment, immigration, payroll tax in China, and payroll rules are followed. Payroll computations, payments, and filings, on the other hand, can be handed over to payroll service. Payroll service, right? Payroll service. 3. Internal payroll. Large organizations may manage payroll for foreign and domestic employees with the internal team. For this, they must finish the incorporation process, register the company, and hire the essential personnel. However, you will need experienced professionals who have extensive knowledge regarding payroll tax in China. To ensure that everything is done in full compliance with the Chinese laws, the company will need a local accounting firm and possibly legal assistance, right? In full compliance with the Chinese laws. In full compliance with the Chinese laws. In full compliance with the Chinese laws. Entitlement and termination terms. Employee rights such as medical leave, personal days, and maternity leave should be outlined in an employment contract. Medical leave, personal days. Well, those are good terms. Medical leave, personal days. Employees in China are entitled to up to 12 months of paid sick leave if their illness or injury is related to their work. Medical leave for non-work related injuries can last anywhere from 3 to 24 months. Wow, that long. With my company, I think it's 70 days. That's like 2 months. The terms of an employee's termination differ depending on their contract. Fixed term agreements do not require notice, but the length of notice for other types of agreements varies depending on the reason for termination. Employers can fire an employee without notice if they have a legitimate cause. Not in Korea. However, terminating an employee without any reason requires 30 days notice. Well, in Korea, you can fire an employee when you are in a financial trap. Legitimate. Here, legitimate means you need to report to the Department of Labor and possibly get approved for termination. China Payroll Processing Company, partnering with a global PEO EOR firm, can take numerous responsibilities off your shoulders. For instance, a POE company can handle your employee payroll, compliance requirements, and international employee management, among other things. You can compare the services of different payroll processing companies online and choose the one that best suits your business needs. How Multiplier can help with a global payroll. To streamline payroll processing in China, you must trust Multiplier. We are well known for providing PEO services, payroll employers outsourcing, right? Services to a wide range of businesses across the globe. With a Multiplier, you can focus on expanding your business beyond borders while we oversee the compliance, onboarding, and payroll-related activities. We take pleasure in providing the best SaaS-based POE services available, which can help you with everything from calculating gross pay to filing federal taxes. Here, SaaS means service as a service, right? Software as a service, right? Software or service as a service. That's an IT term, right? Product as a service. Infrastructure as a service. What else? Data as a service. Your employment toolkit for China. So this article is quite a long, a bit in-depth, but also superficial on the other hand. But we do know that Multiplier seems to be a good company to work with. And in China, sick leave can be 1 month all the way to 2 years. And from this article, we learned such expressions as personal days, sick leave, remuneration, payroll, progressive taxation, proportional rate, and contributions, employee contribution, employer contribution, SaaS, right? SaaS or SaaS, service as a service or software as a service, and payroll, right? Payroll, salary, remuneration, compensation, benefits, perks, extra pay, bonuses. What else? They all related to pay system. Well, thanks for listening. Have a wonderful Thursday wherever you are. Bye-bye.